Hello everyone. Today we are going to go over a very fun list that is not super good, but I'm managing to make a little bit of progress with. So I wanted to go and show you a league, show you the list, and we'll see how it goes. So actually, let me turn on this setting here. But this is our pedal festival without pedals, but with market festival. So here, the plan is we're going to mill our opponent. We're going to do it slowly or a long period of time with stream of thought. You can just mill 4 cards and replicate it a bunch of times, which means that it's uncounterable essentially. And you can actually use stream of thought to loop cards in your own deck. So we no longer need petals of insight to loop with big mana lands, and we can just keep streaming ourselves to use all of our good spells. So what we've done with this Splice deck is, if you're not familiar, you use arcane spells like Peer Through Depths to draw more cards, and use Psychic Puppetry, which has Splice onto Arcane for 1 blue, and that's just a special ability of arcane spells from Kamigawa, but essentially gives the ability of this card to this card. So Peer Through Depths becomes 1 blue. Look at the top 5 cards of your library, pick a card, and untap a land. And that's extremely powerful with discard Ideas Unbound, which is draw 3 cards, discard 3 cards at the beginning into the next end step. And the plan here is to never get to the next end step. We're just going to keep drawing and eventually make so much mana that we can stream our opponent, and they'll have no library anymore. And then we use compulsive research to mill them by forcing them to draw 3 cards. That way they can't like burn us out on their upkeep or something. So these arcane spells will untap the land, and in order to do that, we use mana enchantments, Fertile Ground, and Market Festival. So the idea is, with Ideas and Peer, you need 3 mana to be able to cast the card plus Puppetry. Now, if we want to be able to start comboing, we need 3 mana plus 1 extra mana. And that means that every time we do cast and untap, we have 1 extra mana. We can still cast more things in our deck, and we will hopefully win from there. And that's how we get enough mana to mill them with Stream of Thought. So originally, we were doing a bunch of Utopia Sprawls, Fertile Grounds, and Market Festivals at all basics. And then I tried doing all basic, or like a bunch of bounce lands and a bunch of Market Festivals and Dawn's Reflection. We kind of met in the middle here with just 4 bounce lands and 4 Fertile Grounds and 4 of these 4 mana enchantments. And we've split it here: 2 Reflection, 2 Festival, and that's just for in case we run into something like Echoing Truth. But the idea is we can play Ascended Growth Chamber plus Market Festival, and that can tap for 3 blue and green. So that gets us there. Or we can play an island, play Fertile Ground and Market Festival, and then that's enough. Or we can just, play Growth Chamber plus 2 Fertile Grounds. So it's relatively easy to get a land that's big enough to start comboing. So let's see, let's go over the deck a bit. We have 6 fetches, mostly Evolving Wilds because I want to be able to get my land on turn 1 and lead like fetch, Growth Chamber, and then start doing other things. I've got actually 9 cantrips. I was on 4 Ponder, 4 Preordain, but I've decided to put a Brainstorm in. Or looks like it's actually 8, sorry. So I got 4 Preordain. It's the best combo cantrip. I got 3 Ponder. It's mostly just like in the beginning of the game, we're going to be looking for lands and stuff. And then Brainstorm is like a good way to just find a little bit more of your deck and find something good to use. We also have a bunch of ways to abuse it. Merchant Scroll Shuffles, idea or muddle shuffles, Peer can get past whatever we saw. We can also stream ourselves. So Brainstorm is a pretty good inclusion. And then 2 forest. We just want 2 to be able to search up. 4 growth chambers, and then the rest are just basic islands. Now we have our arcane package of 4 peer, 4 ideas, and 3 psychic puppetry. And I wanted to have more utility in the deck, so I've actually decided to play 2 merchant scrolls here as kind of like the 4th and 5th puppetry that can also draw our Giga Drowse to tap out our blue opponent, a snap um, to interact with our opponent, or during the combo turn, we can do big things like if you have a ton of mana, we can go Merchant Scroll, get Muddle the Mixture, get Ideas Unbound, cast Ideas Unbound, draw 3 cards. Sounds a little bit complicated, but it's not that big of a deal. And now here in the last column, we have 1 Compulsive and 1 Flux. As I said, Compulsive Research can mill our opponent in the end of the combo, and it's good to be able to just draw 3 cards and ditch a land that you've drawn. And Flux, which will be able to be used to ditch all of our extra lands or utility spells that we don't actually need during our combo turn, and that helps to not fizzle. You don't actually need it, and you can go off without it, so that's why I've decided to just go down to 1, and it allows me to play a lot more cantrips. So, like I said, you're going to be casting Ideas Unbound a bunch of times. So the way that this works is you cast Ideas Unbound, and keep going through your deck. Once you've cast 4, you'd think that that's it. But you just stream, targeting yourself, mill whatever you find, and then put back 4 ideas. So then you can just muddle for another one and keep going and keep going and keep going. You end up doing something like 10 ideas unbound generally to win the game, which is really cool. I've enjoyed that. It's kind of like Past in Flames somehow. And now let's look at the sideboard. So in the sideboard we have 4 Blue Blast. I found that Burn is a pretty bad matchup. They have a lot of ways to interact with you, so I just want to live as long as possible to go off. It also helps versus things like Cleansing Wildfire, Molten Rain, and Pyroblast. Most decks that have red are going to be playing a lot of Pyroblasts, so it's definitely useful. And then I have 2 Weather the Storms. I found this mostly to be useful against Burn, but I haven't really had a lot of experience versus other types of aggro decks trying to use it there. It's potentially useful against something like, obviously, any other like mono Blackburn or Aristocrats or whatever, but that might be helpful. I have 4 Moments Peace. I was leaning on Cannonade, but I think Cannonade is probably a bit too slow in this deck since we don't have any like base red lands to fetch up. And Moments Peace is pretty good because it has flashback. You can actually bring it in against something like mono black control, and then if they wrench mind you, you just ditch 2 Moments Peace and then you fog them 2 turns because they still are an aggro deck or an attacking deck. I mean, we have 2 more Giga Drowses, so that brings us to, with the Merchant Scrolls, effective 5 copies of Giga Drowse, and that means that for a blue deck, you just kind of bide your time, cantrip, play land drops, cantrip, play land drops. If they ever tap out, play an enchantment, just wait, and then before you're going to die, you Giga Drowse them, and then just try to win from there. And we have a 4th snap. So the snap I found was very important because it can help stall the game. And this deck is is leaning on trying to win on turn 5. So the aggro start for Pauper will usually kill you by turn 4. And Snap not only bides time, but you can actually, like if they're playing Bully or something where they have a lot of tokens, during your combo you can snap their tokens for extra mana, which we may see during these league replays. So that's the deck. Pretty happy. And let's go over to the games. Okay, so we're starting out here. Game 1. Let's just set up these windows so you can see a bit better. Okay. So we're going to play first. Unknown opponent. I decided that's a mulligan. This is also a mulligan. We're gonna have to keep this one. Puts back 4-drop and a compulsive. Just keeping a bunch of cantrips. Cantrip. That's gonna be a shuffle. Ag draw land. So we're just kind of like looking for more lands here. Forest is great. So grab the forest and then fertile. Oh, okay. So I'm just like biding my time. Oh, since I didn't have the fertile ground that turn, there's no reason to just play out the forest. Not let them know what we're doing. The heroic opponent's just adding to the board, and then we're going to scroll for psychic puppetry. This allows us to peer to tap their guy if they want. And make a huge creature. And now here, so here I recognize that there's an opening. So they're tapped out, and they have one card in hand. They probably have a protection spell, and we're dead on their next turn, especially if they have a protection spell. So the idea here is peer looking for snap. So I go ideas splice, just looking for lands, and that actually can help me dig is really, really deep. And did not find what I wanted, so I'm gonna peer, and I do find a snap. Sorry I missed that there. And then the snap is going to bounce this guy, and we're still kind of in a bad spot because of the multi-4. We're just going to ditch all these extra things that we don't necessarily need for the combo, and then if we do draw like exactly a fertile ground, we can win. So I compulsive myself and don't hit a land in those 3 cards, so that's pretty bad. If I had hit a land, I would have been in a good spot, I think. Could have like kept a model market festival. But as it is, we need a couple of turns in order to get a win here. And they have no cards in hand. So the only thing I can really do is play Market Festival and hope they brick. But no, I can't do that. So kind of hosed. So the only thing I can do is like ideas, hope to draw a bunch of things. Oh man. So I think I should have cast Ideas Unbound there. I was already going to be dead. So Ideas Unbound would have drawn maybe the snap and some other things, and then I could have maybe tried to go off from there. So that's a problem. It looks like I was just digging for snap specifically to bounce the thing and then go off, but that was a mistake. So here they end up having an enchantment, and I actually, well, okay, so this is what happened. Sorry, backwards in time is a little bit hard to use. So I was trying to wait and draw a card, but that was the wrong thing to do. I could have ideas. I was already at 3, but that was probably just playing to not lose instead of playing to win. So I tried to go on their turn, upkeep, tap the Death Blade, but they drew it a pump because I would have gone to 1. Yeah, it's not. That was a bad call. All right. Anyway, they got enough to kill me. So go to game 2. Get to be on the play. This seems mediocre, right? But at least we have land drops, so we're gonna keep it. Just get grab an island. That allows me to preordain and play Growth Chamber. Preordain Moment's Peace and a land, so I'll just bottom the land and take the Moment's Peace. Now here, I think in this game, I was playing around Leave No Trace too much. So here we go. Make this big. Get a forest. I wanted to grab another forest so that I don't have to tap this for a Moment's Peace, and then I can like Dawn's Reflection it or something. So I think I probably, yeah, we're gonna Dawn's Reflection. Okay, come on. Muddle the Mixture, get Puppetry. Leave up Moment's Peace. So I think that's probably not what I should have done, but I was afraid of Leave No Trace, so I'm trying to play around it as much as possible. And this the problem with this deck is like later on you get kind of hosed. Now, if I had played it there, I probably could win this turn because I could have muddled for and then gone off. So we're just going to keep biding our time. I got a snap. Oh, if you didn't see there, when I preordained, I saw snap and snap. So I took one snap. We're going to snap here. We're going to moment's peace and then try to snap that. And I imagine they have a protection spell, which they do. So I go for the snap in case they didn't. Then I moment's peace. So I don't take any damage. I'm on my turn. I go Dawn's Reflection, snap this, and now I can effectively go off here. So let's see what happens. Draw with ideas. So that draws us more enchantments. So I think we play here, play a 4-drop. Pier. Pier draws. You're definitely grab the ideas unbound. Usually I just hit any. So I'm going to draw another ideas unbound. Okay. Play the Market Festival. It's important to get the mana on the land as fast as possible if you can, just to keep stacking and using as much, or abusing it to get as much as you can. Now, I decided to peer there first in case I drew another ideas or a muddle, so just try to draw as many cards as possible. At this point, what I'm basically looking for, let's see the sideboard. So I took out the Flux and the Compulsive. I took out the Merchant Scrolls. Took out a Giga Drowse. And I just brought in Snap and 4 Moments Peace. Okay. So going to ideas. Ideas, draw cards. We did get Snap to get more mana, so that's good. And the thing I'm always concerned about against this deck is playing something like so I went for a muddle, thinking I had things to grab left, but I didn't. So then I got pretty nervous. I grabbed Moments Peace. I think maybe the replay is broken. No, Snap. Okay. Add a bunch of mana. Preordain. Okay. Okay, so in this game, I ran out of things to do, and I had this moment piece, and I actually couldn't keep comboing, but I grabbed a stream actually off my deck, and then I had no arcanes to keep looping with, so I snapped their creature, and then I used my last psychic puppetry to untap the land, and then tapped it, and then just shot them with Stream of Thought to kill them. Got pretty lucky at that point. I remember it being an issue. Okay, so in that one I didn't get to loop on my deck. This I think is a keep too. The thing is, like, the complicated part is, do I go for the Island Ponder or going for the Fertile Ground on turn 2? So I just keep Moment's Peace, pick up this, discard a land. Discarding a land there is probably a bad idea. Should have discarded the Simic Growth Chamber. And if I had grabbed the Forest, I would have been able to hold up Moment's Peace with my 2 basics. So they're slamming in. I brainstorm. I'm going to put back Stream of. Looks like I brought Flux back in. Yeah, just because I was having issues. So I'm returning this land. Minus to Moment's Peace on their turn. They make a giant creature. the moment's piece to buy a turn. Let's see what we do. Okay, so I was hmm, I was playing scared this turn again. Um, they could have leave no trace. So if I'm not playing scared, what I should have done was play island, and then market festival this growth chamber. It's not. Oh, yeah, and then that would have given us enough on this land to win, and then I could try to like look for puppetry because right now I'm banking on finding another moment's piece. And I think that's what killed me in the end on this game. But they could have had if they had leave no trace, I would have been like super dead anyway. So here they have benevolent blessing, and I'm dead if I don't find moment's peace or win. And I found a snap, which is really bad right now. And I found another ideas abound. Could not find a puppetry. Look for something with ideas, and I just fail to find. So let's see. If I had Market Festival, I would have had another 2 mana. Could potentially have gone off there. Two. No, I think it would have been over other way. Okay, so that's a loss to start out the league, which is unfortunate. All right, match two. This is a pretty good hand. Like we have exactly the first 3 land drops. We have cantrips. We have stuff for interaction. We have a way to a tutor slash interaction as well. I see we're against burn, so I'm just gonna just try to set up. All these cards are good. Doesn't really matter the order because we're gonna be playing things like for a couple of turns. Can't deal with that. Can't deal with that. Play Preordain. I put Beholder on the bottom, I think. 2 cards on the bottom. Find another puppetry and pick up a land. I discard a snap. I think I only need 1 snap to deal with a thermo. Okay, so I know I have the Market Festival, so I just used the model to get an Ideas Unbound. And then my thinking was that I could just snap their thermo and then play the ideas. And now here they didn't play anything, so I think they probably have a bunch of Searing Blazes in hand. So I'm just gonna Market Festival my land and then hope that they don't have ways to kill my land on the main deck, so I'm just like hoping that I don't die. And they can't kill me, so I decide to try to win here, I think. Let's see. Compulsive and Scroll is good. New ideas draw. Preordain first, maybe? Preordain, put those 2 on the bottom. Decide to scroll for Pier. Pier 4. Gigadrow's Ponder, unfortunate. So I think take the Ponder. Ponder finds 2 muddles, so that's great. And I think basically I wanted to keep both the muddles. They couldn't kill me last turn. I don't know what they were doing. So I decided I'm just going to discard this, this, and this. Just leave up 1 snap in case. Okay, no snaps. So I don't need the snap, I guess, here because they already have. I know that if they played a thermal, that's the only thing I really want to snap, and they don't have 2 of them. So I'm going to muddle for an ideas and then try to go off again. Play the land. This way I can puppetry both these lands. Okay. Wow. In hindsight, it's hard to see. So these replays are crazy, but looks like I wanted to maximize my ability to go off. I still don't think they can kill me. I don't really know what's going on over there, so I'm holding up Muddle the Mixture in case they can have some spell that might kill me. So it looks like they're a bit flooded. So I'm going to Muddle for something. Muddle for ideas, and now go for it. So Draw 3, untap, untap. Draw 3, untap, untap. Go do it again. And now I think I should stream myself. Let's see what I do if we do it. Stream myself, put back ideas, and scroll for peer. Peer for looking for ideas. Found the ideas. And ideas I'm on again. The hand is getting a little bit out of hand. I still have one more ideas. Dawn's Reflection here for extra mana. Fertile Ground for extra mana. Gonna Ideas Unbound again. I appeared in first. Keep the Ponder. Ideas Unbound again. So now I have a bunch of mana. It's getting sketchy. Only have 2 draws. So soon I'm gonna have to stream myself again to put back some ideas and some other stuff. And you have to remember that when you have only 2 streams in the deck, you have to put back. So I think this is a good. No, I've shuffled. Okay. So this is a good spot to have the barons, so you can like ponder and then shuffle away the 2 they don't want. Going for the ideas. What do we draw? Draw a bunch of blanks. And now the only way to win here is to stream myself and put back a bunch of stuff. Market Festival. Stream you and me. Put back 8 arcane spells. Get rid of hopefully some blanks on my deck. Only down to 10 cards. And then now I'll be up to 14. And I can compulsive. Okay, so the replay broke. No. Okay, so I decided to puppetry both of these. Okay, no, the replay broke. But basically here, you have to just compulsive hope to draw more arcane spells and then start looping. So that's game 1. It went okay. The more spells that you play in your turn, the more likely the replays are to break. So both of those were a mull because of no lands. And here I'm just going to keep interaction, like buy a turn, buy a turn, buy a turn. Land, get an island. They Keldon Marauders. It is going to get them 5 damage, but I don't think I want to blast it because then I'm spending a card and they still got a shock out of it. Thermo eats a blue blast for sure. I just keep drawing all my sideboard cards, which is fine. So now I'm down to 15. And at this moment, I'm just waiting for an opportunity to smack them with a Weather the Storm. I decided to pick up the Forest and not be able to Weather the Storm on that turn just because I can have a couple blasts. I thought I could wait to blast and then see if I could Weather the Storm in response. And now I'm holding the blast in case they have something like a Molten Rain. And it's important to know that this deck, like Burn, doesn't have any sideboard cards, really. So they're bringing in things like Marauders is good, I guess, but sometimes they bring in Pyroblast just because their Searing Blazes don't do anything, and even like Molten Rain is going to be definitely a big thing from them. I think I'm going to take the 5 again, and then hopefully set up a big Weather. Now I do draw a perfect card here with Peer, so I can Peer to tap that. Kind of blanket. And I draw an Ideas Unbound. Now I'm still just biding my time, waiting for a Market Festival. They go for a Molten Rain. I blast it. Should probably have tapped this one, but we got lucky. They played another card, and I could just go for that. Decide to ideas here, and we draw muddle. So it looks like this is the combo turn. So got a little bit lucky. I didn't have to ideas, but I was afraid they had another Molten Rain. So I'm going to puppetry or get ideas, puppetry that, go ideas, and then start comboing. I end up drawing two more ideas, which is pretty good. Draw, 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 draw. And now I can Market Festival, Merchant Scroll for a Pier, get Muddle, and it looks like the opponent scooped. Cool. So that's 1-2 to start the league. We're up against Lorth, who usually plays like mono black control stuff. Keep that. This gives me like a. I'm gonna fetch a. This looks like Pest, which is pretty good for us. I decided to fetch an island so I could have Brainstorm. They're not going to be pressuring us very much. So Brainstorm looking for something like a puppetry. Grab the forest. Island. Fertile ground there. Next turn I can Dawn's Reflection. And then on my next turn, so I'm holding the land for Flux. I don't need it. I can Merchant Scroll for puppetry and then win on my turn. Ooh, and Snap is good. So I Merchant Scroll for puppetry. Just now the combo is going. So we just get ideas, start drawing cards, muddle for ideas, etc. So just looping, 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 looping. Snap your guy, play Market Festival, grab a muddle, snap your other guy, grab an ideas, grab an ideas, ideas draw, ideas draw. It's getting to the point probably should stream. Yeah, stream, put back ideas, appear, tap. Okay, so what I did there was I got the ideas amount and then preordained just in case we draw extra good cards. Still holding my land drop because I could potentially draw a Growth Chamber and then untap both of them with the two puppetries. Just drawing more with ideas unbound. Yeah, it's pretty much deterministic here. They couldn't really do anything to stop me. And it looks like the replay broke, so that's basically how it goes. Like, this mid-range deck couldn't do anything in game one, so we get to win. Tons of time. This is pretty much a keep. And then we have to be worried about like Okiba or Duress or Castigate. Hopefully they're just slow. I played Muddle, or I was holding up Muddle in case of Castigate, I guess, or a Wrench Mine or something. Growth Chamber. Muddle for Puppetry. Play some stuff. Dawn's Reflection. And then we're going to go for it. And I think this time I did fizzle. Let's see if we can see why the fizzling happened. Sometimes with a lot of cards in your library, you don't have the opportunity to draw things very well. Probably should have just ideas there and then uh, streamed later so that there's more ideas in the deck and we have a lot of cards out of the library. Because now we ideas and draw nothing. Blanks. So that's a scoop from me. Give me another keep. They're playing Ash Barrens, which means they probably have a bounce land. Just going to play the Fertile Ground and fetch. Forest out. Looking for cards. Play a Core Sanctifiers. That sets us back a little bit, but I'm still going to slam another Dawn's Reflection. And they play Skyfisher to pick up Core Sanctifiers, leaving up a white. And I Brainstorm, find Muddle, and Snap, which is perfect. So now I can just snap the guy, muddle for puppetry, and then start winning. So that's what we do. We combo off. Things are happening pretty quickly. So we're still ideas. Market Festival is good. Got a bunch of mana. Peer for Peer. Peer for Flux. So here Flux is a really good card. Because we can ditch the Snap, the Evolving Wilds, maybe even the extra period or puppetry. And we're going to stream you, and 2 for you, 1 for me. Oh, I did it in a weird way. Did it the wrong way. So it's supposed to be this one for me, these 2 for them, but I did them, me. And put some arcane spells back. And then I'm going to Preordain and then probably Flux. Compulsive. Okay, so the replay has broken, but from there we can pretty much win. So the idea is the idea is with ideas, you draw a bunch of cards, flux away all your dead ones, and can't really be stopped. With 1 white open, they don't have anything to do. Okay. So I'm up against Abijahavs. Usually they're on aggro or Ubi or blue black Delver. This looks like blue black Delver. So I think grab a forest. Could not find another land, so just grab a land, play it. Optimally, I would want to play Fertile Ground on turn 2, but it didn't have the mana. And we don't draw another land, so I have to just play it. If I had drawn another land, I would have been in a good spot. Still no land, so I try to Fertile. They have Spell Pierce. Not good, because they did reveal the counterspell there. I muddle for Fertile Ground and say go. Still hoping to draw a land. Did not draw a land again, so just try to Fertile again. I'll just discard Snap. A Thorn holding up counterspell. I puppetry their lands down, hoping to draw lands for my own. See, if I hadn't discarded the Snap, this could have gone off here. Play Admiral. This is basically my turn to win. Okay, so I think I misplayed. Because they have Counterspell in hand. If they don't have Spell Pierce 2, I could have just tapped all of my lands, Peer, untap this, leaving it floating 2 blue, they counterspell, I counter, and then I ideas and keep going, but I'm not making extra mana, so it's a bit sketchy. If we draw another snap, we can snap, and they did have a spell pierce anyway, so I would have been dead. And I scoop. I was trying to get the Giga Drowse to like tap them out on their turn. I'm just gonna keep this because it's got mana, and even though it's slow, we have a lot of ways to set up. In the long term, in this match, what I'm trying to do anyway is just find a Giga Drowse and tap them down and then win. So I can just play lots of turns. As long as I make my land drops, the Giga Drowse is going to happen. I'm just getting more islands, preordaning, keep the brainstorm. I'm not sure if I kept the ideas. I did. Find a Giga Drowse, keep preordaning, put the stream down, keep the Giga Drowse. The brainstorm, they're setting up two and holding up counter spells, trying to make sure that they're ready for any of the craziness that I'm going to do. So I have Dawn's Reflection. They duress it. Okay, that's really good. Just keep making more land drops. I muddle for Fertile. They play Behold. My rogue deck is confusing them. They have an Echoing Truth. I think I'm just gonna play the Fertile Ground, seeing if they counter it, so then I can just slam a Market Festival into a counter. I still have the one Dawn's Reflection to go off. I have another counterspell. So I've eaten two of their counterspells. Okay, so I decide to wait because I can go 4 Dawn's Reflection, go off, and then they do tap really low. They don't have anything left, so I just Giga Drowse them. And here I double tap both of their lands. And Dawn's Reflection, and then Ideas Unbound, and we start comboing, and we eventually get there. So let's see if the replay doesn't break. Drawing cards, drawing cards, drawing cards. Pure for Ideas. And I did keep the Flux in, I think. Let's see. Yeah. Took out the Compulsive, though. They can't really win on their upkeep. And now I have to stream myself now because I only have Muddle for Ideas to draw cards, so it's a bit scary. And I'm going to try to stream for as much as possible. Target myself 1, target you twice. Put back all my arcane spells and draw spells. I'm down to around 30 cards in library. Gonna muddle for an Ideas, and then hopefully we get there. Super sketchy. Get the Ideas Unbound. And then we draw more cards, so got there. Just keep looping. All right, let's go to game 3. Again, I'm going to keep this hand because it has a lot of land drops, and the plan is to Giga Drowse. But I'm just going to like play, and we draw exactly Giga Drowse, which is great, and a bunch of our setup cards. Perfect. So I don't want that other card, apparently, and we're just going to keep going. They're just waiting. We have Giga Drowse, so I'm going to play very conservatively and a perfect draw of Market Festival when they were tapped out. They ended up duressing me when I had Scroll Puppetry Pier, so they couldn't really take anything good. They take the Puppetry to actually make me do extra stuff. On their upkeep, I Giga Drowse them. The reason that I did this was I was afraid of Okiba Gang, and I was hoping they wouldn't have an extra land drop. I just double tapped every single one of their blue lands, and they play a relic. So here I'm going to try to play around the relic. I scroll probably for Pier. Scroll for Puppetry. Yeah, that makes sense. Duh. So we're just going to Puppetry, grab the Ideas. Looking for another Giga Drowse or a way to tap them to force the relic to crack. Find ideas. Flux is good because it's going to let me cycle a lot. Find a reflection. Here, grab a muddle. Muddle for ideas. Ideas for cards. I find a Giga Drowse, so I just go with 2 mana to tap them out, make the relic crack, and they decide to not crack it. So now I'm just free reign, and I can. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana, so I can actually preordain before I flux, or just flux now. Preordain for muddle. Muddle for ideas. Cast it. Now I'm going to cast flux. Discard everything but this. Forgot to collect the Summit Growth Chamber. Something weird happened. Puppetry that. Okay. Okay, I don't know what's going on with the replay. Ah. Okay, so somehow I win here. Unknown. I think what happened was I um, found the stream and then stream them. Don't- Okay. Yeah, I think I streamed them out, but I don't know what happened here. Oh wait, is this game 2? Oh no. Okay, so they scooped because I was comboing. That's what happened. I don't know. Okay. I This is why the replays are bad. Okay. Let's call it a win. I'll try to get a live action version of this so that you can actually see it going on because the replays of things with lots of things happening is just terrible. So I know they're on some sort of Boros deck, which is super slow. I have a turn 4 potentially kill if I drop Puppetry. This gives a 3 mana. Now we have 4 mana, and we play Market Festival. All we need is a Puppetry. I decide to peer for it. Find preordain, find Fertile Ground. Oh, got the Puppetry. I'll just pass. I'm not going to die this turn, and I can wait. Play Hawk. Your aggros don't matter to me. Play Screech. I think we'll just go for it. Alright, now I have lots of mana, and I think we get there from here. So we'll just kind of pass on the combo turn since the replays are crazy, but let's let it play out. Drawing a bunch of cards. I have the Flux in hand, so it seems very unlikely that we'll fizzle here. Right now I'm looking for the stream to stream myself down. Drawing cards. There's a stream. Draw more cards. And then we can just stream for a bunch, and then so we're going to snap something, have more mana, stream for a bunch, and then flux. And then we just go for it again. Streaming 4 times is great. All right, next game. So game 2 against Bully, you got to be worried about Pyroblast and about them killing you through aggro. And you also have to be worried about things like Cleansing Wildfire or Molten Rain. We have a Market Festival. We have Muddle the Mixture. Grab another island. We play 3 of an Inspector. Draw a card. I'm just going to say go. They Screech and they Flashback Screech. I know that they could kill me with that, so I'm going to muddle it. Decide to transmute for the Puppetry. Since next turn I can Festival and then go off. If they don't they don't kill me this turn, anyway. Also if they tap out. They do tap out, so I play the Market Festival, and since I drew Muddle the Mixture, I am going to just wait. I'm thinking they probably have either Rally or Land Destruction spell. They play a tap land, so I know that my plan here was if they attack and they don't have Rally, just Peer Through Depths to tap this. But they do have Rally, so I muddle it, so I won't die, and then on my turn I can go off and win. And that is the combo. So we end up comboing off on our turn and getting a nice sweet 4-1 with a crazy start with a loss. So, and now that's that additional land. We have 4 mana. We have a bunch of arcane spells and end up drawing a flux. And we can win from there. So I feel really awesome about this. I hope you enjoyed kind of seeing the deck in action, and see you next time. Thanks, everyone.